Let me tell you about this.
Check out this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
If you had a dream venue, where would that be? Like, some people want to do Carnegie Hall or like a big stadium somewhere.
I want to go with Madison Square. I wanna feel that building.
So you just gonna shoot for the moon.
I want to feel it. I want to look out and just feel the vibration of all of those people there to be uplifted and all of that, because that's what I want to do for people.
So are you dancing? Are you...
I want to implement that. I think I want to start doing some blocking. Like, not like, tear it up. But just like a
little 1-2.
Hell, a little, not voguing, but kind of the essence of it. Very posy and, hit the mark. Yeah, we're not trying to like bust out sweats.
So that's mean you don't have the dance gene and you.
I can dance.
Okay,
that's not what I want to do.
I can dance, but I'm not, trying to give that. That's not my lane. I want to keep it really kind of a retro feel with like the new school with a retro feel. Like
okay. Little bandy soul.
Yeah.
People gonna start using that.
Right. And they should.
Little bandy soul. Yeah. But just mark it so people know, like, this was mine.
This where it came from. Because, people was queens out here now that was princesses last week. They was princesses before my album dropped. Now they queen or something. Like, pinky up.
I cannot. The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com.
Hey, everybody. This is your girl, the one and only Vic Couser. Check us out every Saturday from 5 to 7, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Oh, recently?
Yeah.
I was talking about overall.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. As busy as you are, because they're good at itemizing their time, and they actually have a passion for what they do. One of the biggest lessons that I learned, I get to say this on Weird, was finding people who are not only interested in doing what you need to get done, but people who have a passion for it, because that will eliminate the idea of people just working for a paycheck.
Right.
Because when people sign up for a paycheck, we all had jobs where we slacked off, where we stole away in a little storage room.
Fell asleep.
Thank you.
I saw a meme the other day that had Bart Simpson and the little boy with the glasses. I didn't watch the show, so don't be mad at me. Don't send me no daggum messages. The little boy with the glass, Millhouse, that was his name. He's showing him a cave, and it says, when you're asked to show around the new coworker, and it says, this is where I come to cry. Cool.
Check out this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
Joining us right now is Mr. Antonio Long. He was one of our first See Baltimore artists. That tour is actually under construction, and we're doing some revamping and making sure the foundation is solid.
Yes.
So we haven't forgotten about it. So December we kind of took a pause, and we'll be back up and running in January. My mind is gone. Food. I need food. If you're in the downtown Baltimore area and you have a cheeseburger in your hand, definitely stop past the studio, give me a call, and let me know where you are, and I'll meet you wherever you are. But Antonio Long is joining us in the building. He's a singer, inspirational, not necessarily gospel, not necessarily R&B, but encompassed of both of them. Yeah. So let us know a little bit about who you are, what you do.
Singer. Writer, recording artist, and I just like to make good music.
There we go.
From Baltimore.
So possibly we'll hear a little bit of it live, if he's not afraid, because we throw people under the bus.
Yeah.
Talent-wise.
No doubt.
On this show. We got to see if you got the chops to sink or swim.
Okay.
We do it. We don't hold back here. We don't hold back here. But we'll definitely try to hear from him a couple more segments. So let us know about your music. So do you have an EP coming out, or is it one in the making?
I just released the EP, actually, October 28th.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's called Life.
Life.
Yeah.
So what was it like making that?
It was fun. This is my first It's 8 songs on the project, so it's kind of a little more lengthy than your typical EP. But I put out a mixtape last year, but this is my first official project. Everything else has been singles. So
you're singing your own music now?
I'm singing my own music.
Did you write it?
All original music. Yep.
Okay.
And it was fun. The creative process was fun. I worked with Junior Lee. With Faith Junkie Productions. He's based out of Delaware. And it was fun. I was going up there. 2-3 times.
It was business because it's your money on the line.
Definitely.
Right.
No major labels.
Yeah, no doubt. It was fun. It gave me. It's more work than what I expected. Honestly, because
you're doing a bunch of different. You're writing and the performer in it, so that's 2 big jobs right there.
Yeah, it was definitely. But creatively, it was great. It was great collaborations. I also worked with Anthony Johnson. He produced a song off of the EP. He's from Virginia. And I worked with So For Real Productions.
You deal with some legit individuals, okay?
Yeah.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Saturday 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
It's time for Flashback.
Now, I'm not going to say all Aries don't know, but
it's just the one you had. That was
just the long one, right?
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Saturday 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. As busy as you are, because they're good at itemizing their time and they actually have a passion for what they do. One of the biggest lessons that I learned, I get to say this on Weird, was finding people who are not only interested in doing what you need to get done, but people who have a passion for it, because that will eliminate the idea of people just working for a paycheck.
Right.
Because when people sign up for a paycheck, we all had jobs where we slacked off, where we stole away in a little storage room.
Fell asleep.
Thank you.
I saw a meme the other day that had Bart Simpson and the little boy with the glasses. I didn't watch the show, so don't be mad at me. Don't send me no daggum messages. The little boy with the Millhouse, that was his name. He's showing him a cave, and it says, when you're asked to show around the new coworker, and it says, this is where I come to cry. Cool.
Check out this flashback from the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
So you're your biggest asset. You have to practice self-care. Every entrepreneur has to practice self-care. You have to release yourself from toxic situations.
Explain to us real quick, what is a toxic situation?
A toxic situation is something that will control your mind, something that hurts you, something that you have to battle. Toxic. Hurt. If you're in a toxic situation, if you get hurt, if you get pain, if you get struggle, right? And if your spirit does not align correctly, that may be a toxic situation. So when I say you make that jump when your values don't align, you make decisions based on your values. And if those decisions don't align with your values, then that's when you say no.
Tune into the Artist Exchange every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Saturday.
What's going on this weekend? Nothing? It's too cold. Girl, I'm never gonna go see this Selma movie. Gosh, it's sad. I don't like looking at people in old clothes.
Thank you for tuning in to BeExposedRadio.com. Sit back, relax, and listen to this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
This is the reality
Yes.
of the world that we're living in. A lot of young people don't have the information that is necessary to have healthy lives. And a lot of the organizations that are geared towards young people don't have individuals that are going to be as honest as this gentleman.
One of the issues that I have with this quote-unquote Christian nation that we live in is
it's
that
not just the Christians,
being... religion allows you to live in denial, but the world does not live in denial. So who are you helping with your... All right, I'm going to stop. I'm about to do something.
The reason I shrink that or take that away, because it's people who are not religious. It's people who they're not giving their young people, or they don't have a person that could be that honest with them. I mean, we all have that. I know I had a mother like that.
There are
rather than
and it's just and it's been recently, because I've recently had more interaction with teen mothers than I have in my whole life. I wasn't my mother wasn't a teen mother. Her mother was. She made sure none of her daughters were. So it was, in as I get older and working in certain areas, you tend to run into that. And one of the things that blows my mind is how often a teen mom does not talk to their child at all, period, much less their daughter that they had at 15, to say, these are the realities of sex. These are the realities of the choices that you can or cannot make. These are the realities. Like, how do you not, after going through it yourself, knowing the stress, the looks, how do you then turn and look at someone else and say, all right, good luck? I mean, this is your offspring. I'm sorry. I just get very emotional about that. It bothers me that there are a great deal of people.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
You are tuned in to BeExposedRadio.com.
So we were talking about critical thinking. So we definitely believe that critical thinking is one of the first things we need to start implementing, not just simply being told things. Or how about this? We tend to listen to people who get assigned certain positions. Right. You get what I'm saying? So when they have certain positions, we tend to think that it's truth attached to that because of their position, right? Right. Is that always the case, though?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It's probably one of the biggest reasons we should be doing some critical thinking.
Yes, I agree. I definitely.
You are tuned in to BeExposedRadio.com.
So we were talking about critical thinking. So we definitely believe that critical thinking is one of the first things we need to start implementing, not just simply being told things. Or how about this? We tend to listen to people who get assigned certain positions. Right. You get what I'm saying? So when they have certain positions, we tend to think that it's truth attached to that because of their position, right? Right. Is that always the case, though?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It's probably one of the biggest reasons we should be doing some critical thinking.
Yes, I agree. I definitely.
Exposed Radio.
Let me do that.
There's certain things for everybody.
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean?
There's a time and a place for everything. Maybe if I'm sitting down reading a book and then I'm like, all right, cool. Let me throw this Lupe on, get this real lyrical going on, and maybe I see a whole nother side of something. But if I'm sitting down with a bottle, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. Like, you might turn on the right Lupe song, you feel me? And because I'm drunk, I'm going to get lit for it. Right. But, yeah, for the most part.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Shepsworth Bentley. And make sure you guys check out Homegrown Radio every Sunday, 7 to 8 p.m. right here on BeExposedRadio.com. It's new, fresh, Baltimore radio.
I got drunk one night. This is the night that I put my head through the window and everything.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out. And
exactly.
Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature, and I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to be, but I wasn't doing it for me. So how can I ask you to take me seriously if I'm living in somebody else's shoes?
And nobody can do what you do, and I think that that's a big problem that people face now, like you see what somebody else is doing and you want to do that when that's not your lane.
That's not your lane.
That's not what you're supposed to be doing.
But it's popular. It's getting that person money. It's getting that person applause. Oh, I want applause.
Right.
I want money. Let me stand over here behind them.
And then a lot of times people aren't honest with themselves either. Like I was thinking earlier today, I've been woke for almost 2 days, so so you get honesty, yes. And I was thinking, like, you know,
the Artist Exchange Radio
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Saturday 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. As busy as you are, because they're good at itemizing their time and they actually have a passion for what they do. One of the biggest lessons that I learned, I get to say this on Weird, was finding people who are not only interested in doing what you need to get done, but people who have a passion for it, because that will eliminate the idea of people just working for a paycheck. Right. Because when people sign up for a paycheck, we all had jobs where we slacked off, where we stole away in a little storage room.
Fell asleep.
Thank you.
I saw a meme the other day that had Bart Simpson and the little boy with the glasses. I didn't watch the show, so don't be mad at me. Don't send me no daggum messages. The little boy with the Millhouse, that was his name. He's showing him a cave, and it says, when you're asked to show around the new coworker, and it says, this is where I come to cry. Cool.
Check out this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show, here live on BeExposedRadio.com. In the building, we have live Mr. Michael Ryder. There we go. And Mr. Steve Yarn. They're doing a partnership based on what was it again? The stories of the Vulcan Blazers. An awesome production that they have coming up. And now the name of it will be called
Baltimore Heat.
There we go. They were telling us a little bit about, they're in the pre-production phase of developing this Baltimore-based production. It seems like a really awesome idea. I always love for more artistic events to come here, and because it's more of an event, because you guys are going to actually use Baltimore as your complete backdrop of the city, and that's very awesome to hear.
Yeah, we want people to fall in love with this project through the visions and the tales we're going to tell about these firefighters, but also we want them to fall in love with the city of Baltimore. Just like they did with Miami Vice and Chicago Fire and NYPD Blue and
Sex in the City.
Sex in the City and all these other places that have the city as a star as much as the artists and the actors are.
And
that's
Baltimore
what I go with.
has for many years, many years, have been the backdrops of many movies. I could think of a few Whoopi Goldberg movies, Sleepless in Seattle. A lot of these movies that have always used Baltimore as a scene. Not to mention The Wire and Homicide and countless other movies, House of Cards. All these movies and television shows that have always used it, but it was never really about Baltimore. They always included Baltimore in the story, or the backdrops, or certain historical scenery,
things they absolutely needed to say.
But it never House of Cards actually shoots in Baltimore. But they're saying that it's Washington, D.C.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're shooting here and not even giving us credit for the place we're here.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Saturday 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Be Exposed Radio.
And more money, let them know, like, you're gonna get a hit if you do some rap stuff. You know what I mean?
Right. Now, appropriation, like, they be getting their money. I was just about to talk about that too. Appropriation. Is it appropriation when they do? Because Miley Cyrus. Like, think about it. You got like Miley Cyrus. You had Justin Bieber, and you had like even Katy Perry and Pink. You remember? I don't know if y'all remember Pink. She used to do like some hip hop stars, some like R&B stuff too. Do you think that's appropriation? Are they taking from the culture without like?
I don't know. Like, the way I look at it is, if it seems forced, then 9 times out of 10 it's not really them. Yeah. So then it's appropriation. You feel me? But if I hear sincerity and the genuineness in what you're doing, and if they decide to label it hip hop, and your skin ain't the typical hip hop skin, you feel me? I can accept it as hip hop, like, cause hip hop is what we do. Like, you feel me? Like, people don't look at it like that, but it is. Like, and Busy B himself told me that. You feel me? Like, rap is a thing that we do. You feel me? And hip hop is something that we live.
Right.
So if you telling me your truth.
Man, it is what it is. Man, it is what it is. Well, it is what it is.
This Fly T Miles, also known as Tyree Miles, and Mr. Miles the writer.
Hip Hop K, check us out every Friday on Be Exposed Radio at 9/11.
Coming to y'all soon.
It's time for a flashback.
Now, I'm not gonna say all Aries don't know, but
it's just the one you had. That was just
a long line, right? You know. But it's always something that you can
go ahead. So can you recollect any signs that you might not get right?
October 15th or 16th. What is that?
And Libras.
See, I've had some good Libras and I had one really bad Libra, but he was white, so he f***ed his back anyway. So I don't.
Wait, hold on, wait a minute. Demonstrate. You got to demonstrate the back.
No. Ain't no way.
Not the dirt. How they bust? Let me show how they bust.
And they want to cry afterwards. I mean, what the f*** is the point of the tears? I mean, I can see you shake, and shake it off real quick. But you crying? F*** out of here.
What was he crying for?
Cause baby, this pussy make that. You in? I got that good nasty bitch. The shade.
Oh shit.
McLean's Couch every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Only on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening. Even as a comedian, if I see a joke.
Check out this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
So we're going to get a little bit into the album with Miss Amira and learn the basis of it, the Banji soul of it all.
Yes.
So let us know, first of all, what is Banji soul?
Banji soul is basically just real. It's real soul. It's real. It's not cut down. It's not watered down. It's, how as hot as it came off of my mind and my heart. That's what it is. And a lot of the times I get a little tangy, banji, ratchet, whatever, however you like to put it, classify it. But I like to say banji, because I'm classy.
Banji is a little classier.
It's a little classier. That's got your pinky up.
Right.
You got your pinky up with that.
Okay, we got to keep the B's, the bougie, the banji.
Yeah.
Right. So she's created her
Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
Artist Exchange Live.
The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
starts now.
Okay. That's backwards or you?
The dancers.
Yeah, I think they're out of us.
They are part of the Smoot chapter. So, they're not so great.
You only need these if somebody call in.
Okay.
I just need to hear myself talk. Hello?
Yes.
We on? Welcome to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live only on BeExposedRadio.com. I'm not a commuter. I'm just going to say that straight off the bat. It's not for me. The life is not for me. I don't understand how people do this on a daily basis, but it's not the life for me. But we're here, still full. I think that was my problem because I ate another plate this morning. But we have Miss Crystal here. She's a designer and artist. Well, I don't understand what that says. I don't know what the last word. But we're here today with Crystal. She owns TuTu Paradise.
Yes.
And I want to know, first of all, what is TuTu Paradise and how did it get started?
So TuTu Paradise is a custom tutu and custom t-shirt business. It started basically with my niece's birthday party. Her birthday was August the 3rd, and I wanted to make it special for her. We went to high skates.
We went to Hot Skates, and I wanted to give her a troll-themed birthday party. And so the first tutu, I looked it up online. I saw ribbon and tulle. So I just put ribbon and tulle together and a rubber band. Yes. I went to Walmart, got the Velcro pieces, cut it up, sewed it on the back, and she loved it. I took it to my parents' house the night before, and I was like, Christy, you want to try on your tutu? And I made her a shirt to go with it. And she loved it, and she just was like, oh, I want to put it on. She wanted to wear it all the time. And at that point, I didn't realize glitter tulle is a lot. And so my mom was like, she is not wearing this tutu all around the house because it had so much glitter. And just basically seeing her excitement and seeing how excited she was about the tutu just made me want to give that to more little girls. And I did it for my best friend's daughter, for her first birthday. So you do
parties with it now?
Yes, I do parties, but I don't do like whole parties. Like I don't say, hey, bring 20 girls, let's all make tutus. Not there yet. But if someone says, oh, I have a birthday party or a photo shoot coming up, I would be happy to provide that tutu. So that's how it started.
Okay. So in terms of business, is this your first business venture? Crystal, this is Hollywood, my co-host.
Hi, how are you?
I'm already. How you feel today?
I'm doing good.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So was this your first business venture?
This was not my first business venture, but this is my most successful business venture.
What other things have you tried?
The first one I did was Virtuous Woman. The concept of it was kind of all over the place. I didn't have a set concept with it. I knew I wanted to do t-shirts and I wanted to encourage women in Christ. I knew that was the idea, but I didn't know how I wanted to push that forward. So it was kind of all over the place. I had t-shirts that were being made. I had ended up going into the red with my bank account. So I was just like, okay, they are expensive. And at the time I didn't know, oh, I can make my own t-shirts and I can do my own designing. And so when I first started that, I was going into the red. I was paying money that I didn't have. So basically I took a step back. I was like, look, maybe I need to step back and redo the whole process. And in the process of, you know, stepping back and redoing Virtuous Woman, TuTu Paradise came up. And so TuTu Paradise, I wasn't expecting it to be like a thing, but with the response that I've been getting back from family and friends, I've had family from Virginia order tutus and t-shirts, and they were my largest order. They got like 8 shirts and a tutu. And I was like, oh, I actually kind of enjoyed this. So Virtuous Woman was the first business venture. TuTu Paradise kind of came up by accident, but I love it.
It's always amazing to me, like, especially things that you tried before. If you just sit it down for a second, when you come back to it, it normally, especially with experience, you have a whole new outlook on things. And some people just they just drive it home until there's nothing else to touch.
Exactly.
But you got to sometimes step away from it and just start the idea and then go over here and learn some things.
Right.
And then you may make a connection when you step away from it that'll help you do those things.
And I was glad for that connection because my dad says I'm stubborn and hard-headed and I don't want to listen to anybody, which is true. I accept that. But with Virtuous Woman, I was just like, this is what I want to do. No one else's idea matters. You don't know what I want to do.
Such a young person.
Such a young and strong-headed person. But when TuTu Paradise, you don't know what I want to do. Like, I was just like angry every time someone gave me a suggestion. I was like, you don't understand what I'm trying to do. You can't see what's in my head. But with TuTu Paradise, I've been more open. I enjoy it. Like, I'm up at 2 o'clock in the morning looking at different techniques and different ways and how to improve the tutus. And every time it improves so much more.
And one of the things that we do here, in addition to just the radio format, is we help people to kind of streamline those ideas. And I'm saying that's one of the hard-headedest, if that's even a word, problems that I see with entrepreneurs and artists. In this generation, young or old, nobody wants to learn anything.
Right.
Everybody got into that whole cycle of getting a bachelor's, master's, and PhD in something that was going to pay them well.
Right.
And now everybody's burnt out on education. And nobody wants to take the time to learn what it is or things that are associated. Like, going to school now for business is not stupid, because if you were supposed to open up your own business? You weren't supposed to work for somebody else. Or you got that job and now it's paying for you to do this thing over here.
Right.
But nobody wants to be a student. Nobody
Right.
wants to take.
Everyone
the
just
long
wants
way.
to charge forward. And with me, I'm currently at the University of Baltimore taking digital communications. And I started off in marketing because I didn't know what I wanted to go to school for. And I transitioned into digital communications.
That
and
seems to be a new hot field.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a hot thing, and it's a learning experience for me because also going to school for digital communications, I'm also the social media specialist for my job, which is the vice president for student affairs. And so I basically manage all their social sites and everything that I'm learning in the classroom, I can apply it to work, and I could also apply it to TuTu Paradise. And in that process of learning, I hear a lot of people say, well, you don't need to go to school for that. You don't need to go to school for that. Nothing you learn in the classroom is going to, apply to the real world. And it's like, yes, it will.
Yes, it will.
Everything I learned in class, first of all my classes overlap with each other.
Even if it's just networking with other people.
Right. And I've networked with so many people.
Trying to just sit down on YouTube and learn on your own.
You don't.
I'm sorry. Like, people tell me that all the time. And they get angry with me all the time. I'm sorry, I'm gonna straighten up her.
No, you're fine.
But people tell me that all the time because I went to Coppin and I went for acting. And I learned so much more beyond acting.
Right.
That most of that experience, I probably would have met people the same way. But where I am now wouldn't have been possible had I not gone that route.
Right.
And I tell people, you can try the hard way all you want and try to be under the radar, but your community, the result of it is you trying to be under the radar. Schools are shutting down because nobody is paying taxes or contributing to the everyday things that we need because everybody want to be the hustler.
Yep, and universities do provide, because a lot of people have been telling me, oh, you need to network, you need to go out to networking events. My classroom is a networking event for me because I've connected with a beauty blogger. Her name is Cash, and she's amazing. She has a YouTube channel called Girl from Venus, and just connecting with her and following her on my business Instagram, I was able to find out about a networking event, and just even in class, the both of us were able to talk, and she was able to help and give me pointers on different things I can do, because I've been asking her, like, how do you get sponsors, how do you get people that want to invest into you, and she was able to give me different pointers. And a lot of people, they look down on going to universities. I appreciate my time that I learned from BCCC, Baltimore City Community College, to Morgan, to University of Baltimore, because every time I go, I meet someone that is willing to invest in me. And investment doesn't just mean money. Investment.
And a 4-year degree shouldn't always be your focus.
Right.
But if you're there, get the degree because it does help you.
It really does.
Need a benefactor job in order to pay for it. Like, it doesn't. I'm big on education only because I grew up with great grandparents, and I knew how hard it was for them to even put all their children through school, or if they were able to, they were able to even go to school. So I would never discredit it just for that reason. But I've learned as an artist, most of my circle of really good friends I've met in college. I'm not saying you can't meet really good friends outside the field. But in terms of me working within my field, my friends outside of that have no idea what theater is, don't have a clue or nor interest in it. So why would I lean on them to help me do things that
you have to surround yourself with the right people? Because I'm not gonna, I love my friends that I have from high school. I love them dearly. We are still friends to this day. But they can't help me go to the next level like I want to with the people that I've met in the classroom, or those professors or those mentors that I've met, because they have insight that my friends from high school may not have. And when you have people from different walks of life, everybody helps you differently.
Right.
So I know for a fact my friends from high school, they motivate me, they support me, and all of my crazy ventures that I do. Because I will say I've always been a visionary. From the 12th, from middle school to now, I've always been making t-shirts, and I've always been like that creative person. But my high school friends, they just were like, oh, that looks nice, that looks nice. But they weren't able to give me that creative eye that I needed to say, well, maybe you should move it over this way. Maybe you should change this color. Maybe you should, alter this a little bit. People from the University of Baltimore in my classrooms can help me with that because they have that digital mindset. They have that, that creative eye that a lot of people may not have for me. So it helps. And so, I encourage a lot. I'm so happy when my friends tell me, I'm going back to BCCC to finish my AA degree, or I'm thinking about going to Morgan. I'm like, go for it. Go for it.
It's no time. Like, I started school when I was 21. I felt like that was late. But I was in classes with
two friends of mine, Carl and Jackie, they were like in their early 50s. Like, we had a person graduate from Coppin that was 89. Like, it's never a time limit on it. And I just read an article on Swiss Beats. He just went back to school for the first time to get a degree in business. Because he didn't need it up until this point. Right. But what he did do afforded him to be able to go there. But you learn at some point you need things to connect the dots.
Same thing what Nas did. I think he went to Harvard.
Yeah.
African American literature.
A lot of those big A-list celebrities are going back because you can get but so far. But if you don't know certain things, that's going to keep the door closed. If you can have all the connections you want. But a piece of paper means a lot. People look at it as just a piece of paper, but that piece of paper means a lot.
Especially when it comes to getting paid with some paper. Okay.
And not even just getting paid, but just being in charge. That makes the difference between you working for somebody and somebody working for you.
Exactly. And I know the one thing my parents have always... And they may not know that they encourage me to do this, but my parents, they work for themselves. They are able to set their own schedules. I think my parents worked for someone else when I was younger, but now my dad is a pastor. He works for himself. My mom, she's a hairstylist. She works for herself.
But those other opportunities afforded them that ability.
Afforded them, and I was able to grow up saying, okay, this is what it's like if you work for yourself. So I want to maximize on that, and I take everything that my parents have taught me to the classroom, and then with learning what I learned in the classroom, I take that outside of the classroom to people that may just look at me like, "Oh, you don't need to go. No, you don't need to go to school." Because people looking at me like, "Crystal, you've been in school since we done graduated from pre-K. When are you gonna stop?"
Those same, I still have, and I love my friends to death. I have friends that did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
Quote unquote, what they were supposed to do. They came from high school, went to college, graduated, got the job, started the family, and now at 33, 34, they're now finding and realizing this ain't what I wanted. Or this is what I wanted, but I still miss that thing over there that I really wanted.
Right.
And then now they're realizing that, you have to go for your passion. The money, the stability, all that is great. I love it. I love going to the market. I love having my lights on. I love those things. But you have to follow your passion, because at the end of the day, you're sitting in the house with the lights on, with your nice snacks and your cable, and you're depressed.
Right.
Because you're not able to do the things that you really want to do. Because you've given so much time to making somebody else's dream.
Right.
Sending somebody else's child to college. Making sure they have a summer home and benefits and all the bells and whistles. And that person somewhere playing golf while you sweating. So I just realized at some point I can't do that. I come from a family full of hustlers, but none of them ever connected the hustle to a lifelong passion. They all wanted that those trips to Miami or things like that. And I'm not judging anybody. I just knew at some point that wasn't for me.
The life that they see on Instagram, basically. Right. That life that you see on Facebook and Instagram. Right. But you see everybody coming back like, yes, I just came back from my... And it's like, you don't understand. Because when...
What do you do? They go right back to work.
Right. They go right back to work. For me, you got to catch up. You got to, take out... You got to be careful how many sick days you can take. Like, right now, I love my job. But right now, I can only afford one sick day per pay period. I don't want to live like that for the rest of my life, but I know that that's what I have to do right now in order to get to that ending, that ending place.
We don't even call them jobs here. We call them benefactors.
Benefactors.
You have to look at it that way, because that's the only benefit it is to you.
Right.
Because you're not, University of Baltimore doesn't belong to you. You can't leave that to your child.
No.
You can't bequeath it to your grandchildren.
Right.
Like, it doesn't happen that way.
No.
When you leave, they're going to find somebody else to replace you.
Yeah.
And that's as easy. And everybody may not be made out to be, have their own practice, but you should want to be the best in that field.
Right.
My sister was meant to be a nurse. But I want her to be a doctor,
right?
Or the attorney general, or the person in charge of the hospital,
right?
I don't want her to just stay a nurse, just taking care of people all the rest of her life, but being in charge or training other people, even being a teacher, But it doesn't. You should not stop it. And I don't judge anybody, and everybody gets it at their own time. But you should want to be, if that's your line of work, you should want to be the top of it.
Yeah.
Staying at entry level or just raising up to just before upper management is not getting it.
Yeah.
I thought at 17 I was the stuff. I was a manager at Popeyes.
I think everybody at 17 thought they was the stuff.
And the moment I became like a shift manager, I started seeing how much money we were making.
Right.
So I'm running reports, and I'm seeing, I worked in a village. I saw that village Popeyes was bringing in loots. And this is how much all of us get paid. This is payroll for the day. And it was a fraction of what was going back to the company. After all the bills were paid, after all the inventory was satisfied. This is how much they get? Man, I was like, no, I want to be the manager.
I don't want to sit here in the same place
and just do nothing. And make somebody else happy.
Yeah, and the thing, that's what I appreciate about TuTu Paradise, because TuTu Paradise has given me that opportunity to keep pushing forward. And my niece is my biggest motivator. Her name is Crystal too, and she's my biggest motivator. Every time she calls me or sees me at my house, she's like, "Oh, Crystal, you got a tutu for me? You got a tutu for me?" And it's like she's 4.
I want another one.
I want another one. I want another one. Now, granted, I can't always make her tutus because that's taking up my little bit of supplies. But
bring me some supplies.
Bring me some supplies, and I'll help you out, Chris, and I got you. But whenever Crystal asks me for a tutu, I'm just thinking, that could be another little girl asking her mom for a tutu, and I want to be able to fulfill that.
Wearing it and everybody else seeing it.
Yeah, because Crystal is she a little something. She's a little diva, and she has no worries in the world. She what was it? I told her I wanted to make one for Christmas. I said, "What colors do you want, Crystal?" Well, no, for Halloween she told me she wanted a tutu, and she wanted it for Poppy. And so I said, "Well, what colors do you want?" She said, "I want green, blue, purple, pink, yellow." I mean, baby girl was naming all these colors. And I'm just like, you know what, Crystal, I appreciate you, but Auntie Pockets can't do that right now. So this is what we going to do. And I made her the little tutu. She took it to school and everything. And my mom said, she got a lot of good feedback on it. And it's just like knowing that my niece is what other little girls want. This is something that the parents may think they may not need, but they're going to want it. And so with the many opportunities that are coming up with TuTu Paradise, with me being patient, taking my time, and willing to invest in myself in a smart way, and not ready to throw my whole bank account, because some people say, "Oh, you don't truly believe in yourself until you go broke." And I'm like, no. You can invest in yourself and still be able to take care of yourself.
That's the same person that's telling you not to go to school.
And it's like, no, you can do it smart. You can go about it the smart way. And so, and another thing I appreciate with TuTu Paradise is, when we have all these different businesses, we look at each other as competitors. We don't look at each other as helpers. We don't look at each other as like, a team. And so when I started TuTu Paradise, there was another young lady who also makes tutus. And she sent me a message. And she's like, "Look, this is where I get all of my material from. This is where I get all of my information."
And that's rare.
Right, very rare. Because when she first came to me, I was like, I don't know, how this is gonna work. But she came to my apartment, and she, I bought the tooling material from her, and it was cheaper to buy it from her than to go to Walmart. And she's like, "Girl, do not go to Walmart because it's too much money." And so she's been helping me and giving me different pointers that I can use towards TuTu Paradise. And she even asked me to come and be a vendor for her event. The event has tutus in it, and you're gonna ask me to come and sell my tutus?
And that what people have to fail to realize, we could do the same thing, have the same supplies, have the same customers, but I can't be you no more than you can be me.
Exactly.
And I think that idea, because what happens is when tutus guys start getting trendy, everybody start buying into it. Well, I'm gonna make them. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And it became ugly because, one, that ain't really what you was doing. You just wanted to make a couple dollars.
Right.
But the moment that trend goes the opposite way, you out.
You really gonna see who still want to make these tutus.
And I make jewelry, and I've seen so many friends start making jewelry. And for me, it was never disrespectful, because I always knew why I was doing it. When the money not coming in, or right now in January, that's coming up, when ain't nobody spending money, then you will realize who's really in it and who's not in it.
Yeah, because tutus, like I was saying, tutus is not something that most parents look at and be like, oh, I need to buy my child that. My child, they'll look at it and be like, that's just extra stuff that's going to be sitting around my house that my child's going to play with for all of maybe 2 days. And then, throw it away. But for me, I keep pushing the fact it's that right now moment when the child is running around at their party in that tutu, in that custom t-shirt. They're going to be like, look at me, look at me. And I want to remind parents, like, you want to give that to your child.
Right. Give them that memory.
Yeah, give them that memory. So when they grow up, they'll be like, oh, I did like my tutu, and I want to keep pushing that. And granted, I still have my little day job, praise the Lord. I appreciate my day job.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show. Amen for a great job. We'll be right back.
Oh, yeah.
Check out what you missed on Be Exposed Radio.
Did I have to say alleged anywhere in here?
This is the wrong song to play underneath this topic.
They're saying 4 years ago, according to a $20 million lawsuit, the plaintiff, who was also not named, met Charlie Sheen in Las Vegas on April the 1st, 2011. The sleaze suit claimed that Sheen entered into a nefarious plot designed to lure plaintiffs into a luxurious hotel room to serve his prurient desires. Sensationally, it was alleged that Sheen... Say what?
I said perverted.
No, it's prurient.
Let me see. Can I where's the point to the word? Right. Prurient.
It's hard. It makes me want to gag. Like cock. Get it? Sensationally, it was alleged Sheen told the man he had no venereal diseases. At that point, they watched the porn and engaged in mutual oral compilation, mutual self-gratification, rubbing and massaging each other, play wrestling, licking, and unprotected intercourse. So, look, my question to my 3 people here at my panel, are they trying to say, because that's when they said he got this disease 4 years ago, or virus, HIV, 4 years ago. Are they trying to say that he got it from gay sex? Probably.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
That's what it's saying. Consensus of the room is
not all the female prostitutes that he was doing. It was the guy.
Just they interjected just one guy in there.
You know what that is? That's Sheen having a very good publicist.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Thank you for tuning in to BeExposedRadio.com. Sit back, relax, and listen to this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
What does hustle hard mean to you? What does that signify in your life?
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Doesn't come out.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show. We're just talking a little food talk. Make sure y'all wrapping up, because I know you may see the sun and feel the sun, but that underlying breeze always tells you what the real temperature is.
Yes,
and that's how you get a cold.
So
Definitely wrap up, stay bundled up in layers if you have to. But we're back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, and I actually, we have some. Can you go to our page real quick? So part of what we are doing now, we have this series of conversations, panel discussions called Art Talks. And we're basically the things that you've learned, we're doing that in the talk. Because we want to give artists and entrepreneurs a sense of just comfort that everybody is going through this. In some way, some level. I know more about this than you do, and you know more about that than I do. And a lot of us don't ever take the time to talk to other people that do what we do. We're looking at people like Oprah, who's already made it. And that's not unattainable, but we just not there. I need to see a road closer to where I'm at. I know that I can keep that at the top of my wall, but I need something a little bit more touchable.
Yeah.
So I love talking to individuals that are there or just out of there, or still can remember what it feels like to be like, do I get these nice shoes or do I buy supplies for my art? Like, if you know you need these shoes for the winter, but these supplies can afford you a pair of shoes. So do I wait a little bit? And, you know, being able to understand, like, you have to really get the image of your business together. You got to really, you know, focus on. So you're marketing to you're basically marketing to the children. Yeah. And your marketing pictures are like at parties or party settings because that child is going to see that. Yeah. So in order to effectively sell your product, you need to catch the eye of the person of the child. And the child knows, like, I want that, mommy, I want that, I want that. And, you know, we give in to children, but at the same time, that's smart marketing.
It really is.
You know, I go back to Michael Jordan. A lot of people are upset at him now because his shoes cost so much. Well, the marketing behind that made that possible. That's the whole dream. Yeah. Like, I don't want to gouge anybody's pockets, but that was the dream. Yep. And when they were affordable, you had no issues with it.
No, but they complaining about the shoe, but yet they still buying them, you know?
Exactly.
Right, the shoes are so expensive.
That's why whenever people have this whole Jordans comments, I'm just like, but yeah, y'all still alive. But with the whole, with the way I market, I typically use the people that I know will wear them. Right. So I have on the Instagram, I have pictures of like the babies in their tutus and my niece Crystal in her tutu. And I also have myself as an adult in tutus as well, because I want to push the adults. You know, you can have a little fun with wearing tutus. Tutus are not just for, you know, people that are newborn to 4 years old. Right. And those are typically the people that they're ordering for, because I had one person at my old job. She's like, yeah, I want to get a tutu for my daughter. She told me the design she wanted and everything. And her daughter was turning 5. So she went home to her daughter and she's like, yeah, do you want a tutu? She's like, no, I want to go to Panera Bread. And so then it's just like, now I have to work with, so now I'm working with the ones that don't want to be what we call a kid anymore, and now they're trying to be, you know, young adults. And so I still have, them adolescents. So I want to make sure I show these children, like, it's okay to still have fun, you know, and run around with your tutu. And with the way I've been marketing is I follow a lot of women that I know have children, you know, people that I know have nieces and nephews, and because we also do t-shirts for boys as well. Okay. My brother's birthday just passed and he just turned 16 and his nickname is Big Brody. And so I made him a t-shirt that had Big Brody with the muscle arms on it. And, you know, and I'm also going to make shirts for my family, for when we go to different sports games for my siblings and different things like that. And so tutus isn't just for, you know, parties, and I also make t-shirts for all occasions. Right. So yeah, marketing has been a little tricky.
But you have to learn it because it's not one way. Right. You know, you can't just put red words on something or, you know, a nice picture. It has to speak to what you want. And too many times we try to do what other people doing, and that's fine to start off with, but you definitely have to find your niche and what works for you, because what works for somebody else doing the same exact thing may not work, because y'all might be marketing to 2 different people. 2
totally different people.
And we fail to realize that because we are too busy trying to do what worked for somebody else.
Right.
You know, that could have been a trend at that moment.
Right.
But it doesn't work.
Yeah, because I know when I first started, I have a friend of mine, Jeffrey Perkins, who does photography, J Perk Productions. And I followed him on social media. I'm just like, well, how can I get to what he's doing? So in my mind, I'm like, well, I need to post a whole bunch of photos every time. But I can't post a lot of photos because I'm not a photographer. Right. So for me, I have to post my work that I do. So whenever I do different tutus for my niece like that, you know, that's what I have to post. I can't do...
And if you're not as... J Perk is very engaging. Like, he sits there and makes posts, but he's talking.
He's talking
a long time. And that, if that's not you, that's not going to work for you.
It's not.
Going to be a bunch of pictures.
And when he's posting, is his actual work.
Right.
And so he posts the different photos of people that he, you know, takes photos of. That's not what I do. I don't take photos of people. So I only post what I'm actually doing. I post my work. I post, you know, things about me and my niece. And I wanted to start doing a little show with my niece whenever we go to the store to pick out different things for tutus and stuff like that. Like, that's, you know, just to show adults, like, you know, this is something that your child can enjoy. So the way he markets is different from the way that I would market. And I had to learn that, and thankfully I learned it quickly. But I'm learning my niche and how I'm going to promote myself to those adults and to those children and to those people who are following me and different things like that.
Well, we're going to promote to you right now because we're going to take another break. Definitely hit us up on Facebook at the Artist Exchange Radio Show or at our email address at the Artist Exchange Radio Show at gmail.com. We have some awesome and affordable products and packages to help you promote and market your business. So take a break, listen to those commercials. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BigExposedRadio.com.
Oh. Yeah, this the man that holds it down, Mr. Showtime, D the Boss. Check us out every Saturday, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on BigExposedRadio.com.
So yeah, people that gravitate towards the simple fact that they just sit around and look at your comments and look at what you post on Facebook or social media for that matter, and they see the videos and they see the messages and they quickly assume that it's about them. But people understand this, that there are 50 billion more people in this world other than your goddamn self. So it's not everybody is going to be talking about you. And I know quite few people, and I said that to the person. I said, I just don't know you.
Right.
I know a lot of other people. I love music.
Hey everybody, this is your girl, the magical Anissa Maureen. Make sure you tune in to the Charm City Direct Radio Show every Saturday, 5 to 7 p.m.
You are tuned in to BeExposedRadio.com.
Not what's going to happen.
That's exactly.
Do y'all think that we're about to go to war with North Korea?
We're going to get tracked down, huh?
Do you think North Korea is going to bomb us? Is it going to be like a nuclear?
Probably.
Yep. Probably.
We lost all our allies.
Yep.
All of them.
All of them.
All of them.
Now, is that because of Trump or is that something Obama did?
Because of Trump.
He purposely lost them. He said it too. He doesn't want to.
All the people that don't like us now, there are nice pictures of Obama meeting with them.
She said, also look at his past campaign. Most of his endorsements were from the Klan. Y'all about to assassinate me. My phone, my hair keeps getting tangled up in this thing. But I have read this plenty of different times that the Klan, oh my God, y'all about to yell at me so bad. But just tell me if I'm wrong or right. Did they or did they not endorse Obama also?
No, they did not.
Was that a rumor that I heard?
Yes, it was.
I swear in my life I have heard that the Klan has endorsed Obama. I'm dead serious, yo. Like,
you please be careful leaving.
Can somebody Google that?
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show, here live only on BeExposedRadio.com. I'm your host, Nate. I have my co-host, Mr. Hollywood.
Hey, how y'all doing out there? See, Saturday.
Yeah. You got to come on Fridays to get the bassman voice.
Oh, I heard that last night. I was watching last night.
And we have our awesome guest today, Miss Crystal of TuTu Paradise. Can you tell us where we can find you at on social media?
Yes. So you can find me on Facebook at TuTu Paradise. I'm a Facebook friend page, so friend me on Facebook. And you can also find me on Instagram at TuTu Paradise 17. Like us, share us, all that fun stuff, that people say to do.
So if I wanted a tutu, how would I approach it? Do I come to you with an idea, or do I go online? Or?
Yeah, so with TuTu Paradise, I don't have set styles. People, you tell me what you want, and I make it happen. Okay. So if you want to place an order, you can on our Instagram and our Facebook. You will see our email tutuparadise17@gmail.com. You'll email me, and I'll in turn send you back a order form where you'll fill out all the information. And if let's say you saw something on Google or Pinterest that you like for your child, you send me a picture of that, and I'll let you know whether I can or cannot. But my ultimate goal is to make it happen for the parent, regardless of what the style is. I always try to make it happen. Like there's one tutu that's coming out. It's a shades of blue the parent was like, I don't know what I want. Like, there wasn't a character or anything. I'm like, okay, well, give me some ideas that you want. And they were like, well, I didn't see any styles, so I really don't know what to do. And I'm just like, well, this is what we're going to do. So I made a couple of shirt designs for her, and she's like, she wants shades of blue, so I have different shades of blue that'll be on her tutu. And the name is simply a picture with her name and flowers on it. And, you know, there's one that I did for Princess. There's another one I've done for, I call it Purple Rain Princess. That's the one I did for the photo shoot. And so, you know, there are different styles for tutus and everything, but it's all based on what you want. And it's a simple process. It's a 1 to 2 week turnaround, depending on when you need it. I do ask people to at least order a month in advance. But if it's something like dire, like my child's birthday is this weekend,
I ordered it from China, but it never
got here.
How long does it normally take you to go ahead and create?
For me to create, so typically I try to work with the parents as much as possible. So I basically try to wait to see what the parents want before I create. But typically it takes me about a week to design, like get an idea of what I'm gonna, you know, what the end process of the tutu is gonna be like. And so before I start the actual work, I'm communicating with the parent or whoever is purchasing the tutu. Like, hey, these are the shirt designs. These are colors that you want for the tutu. Try to give them a picture of what it's going to look like.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's how difficult has it been just growing in the business? Because sometimes people want you to do XYZ and then it start being, well, that's not a tutu, so I do tutus, right? You know that. And then they start wanting you to do things too. How far do you reach beyond what your initial product is?
So far, I haven't had any like extreme requests.
Like, can you do my wedding gown?
Yeah, I haven't gotten those. I cannot do wedding gowns. But if you have a little flower girl, you know, that you want me to dress, I can do that. Okay. But ultimately, weddings and stuff like that, I haven't really tapped into those. But I would love if people, you know, hit me up, say, hey, I want to have my wedding girl, my little flower girl, and, you know, nice tutu. That's something I could do.
So have you ever thought about doing adults for tutus? Because, you know, some adults, because I went to a few events where I've seen adults wearing tutus.
Oh, yeah, I've reached out. That is something I do want to do. So adult tutus, of course, typically will cost more. But I haven't had adults order yet. So that's why I try to keep promoting like myself as an adult wearing tutus and different things like that. Right now I've gotten a lot of feedback from most adults that say, oh, I look crazy in a tutu. I don't want to do no tutu. And it's like, well, you don't know until you try it.
Have you been a part of like a fashion display or the fashion show? Have you gotten into that part yet? Or?
Not yet. And actually that'll be my first endeavor that I do next week. Okay. I'll be going to a fashion show for Fame Designs. And the young lady that's putting it on, she said, wear a tutu, come and be, you know, network and socialize. And that'll be my first fashion show that I'm not a part of the fashion show, but I will be working with her in the future to expand, doing parties and teaching and showing people how to make tutus and different things like that. So,
well, I'm going to introduce you to Miss Nixon. I believe she's in her office. Her office is right across the hall. Okay. So she has Baltimore Fashion Week. So maybe that can be your endeavor.
Yes, I would love to be a part of that.
And I'm always a handy helper, so I always try to find my way to help out. But in terms of where do you want to see this grow to? Do you want to start doing like birthday parties where you're making the tutus? Or?
Yeah. So ultimately, I do want to venture out for birthday parties. Next year, I'm going to start. We'll not start next year. We're going to have our first event, which is going to be tutus and pumpkins. Okay. Basically, where the young girls will come and they can either decide to make their tutu on the spot or have their tutu pre-ordered. Okay. And they'll also be able to customize their own pumpkins. They'll color them and put little tutus on their pumpkins. And it'll be a nice afternoon for the children. You know, we do ask parents to stay with their child. Please stay with your child. We are not babysitting your children. Because, you know.
I've done plenty of, like, art parties, and that's what. You be like, where are the parents? And they're all out, like, on the balcony.
And it's like, no, if you come with your child, not tutu paradise. Yeah, mommy and me class. And so with the tutus and pumpkins, that'll be a fun activity for the children. So ultimately, next 2018 is going to be the year that we will be expanding into parties. Okay. And we're going to try to do some different things.
How are you preparing for that now? Are you, how are you preparing to do that?
So right now, preparing for that, I'm connecting with a young lady who sells Mary Kay. And she's like, I want to start doing parties for children. I'm like, well, we can do a fun mommy and me party, where the daughter and the mom will have, how Mary Kay sets up the makeup for them to put it on. Yeah. But we'll also have a child version.
My mom
of that
had that little burgundy little Cadillac.
Yes, from Mary Kay. Yes. Where basically.
Sorry, Mom. I didn't mean to tell people that.
Oh, shit. You better get them on.
Well, Mama, I'm sure you was looking fine in your Cadillac. And so
they make money. They be getting
diamond
rings.
And they'll make it look really nice. And so with that party, it'll be another fun way for it. It'll be something small.
Right.
But that's going to be my first endeavor to see how it turns out. And also just trying to time myself on how many tutus I can make in that time. Because if we do parties, I'm looking at probably 10 plus people.
Right.
So I want to be able to prepare myself for the tutus, knowing that I can make this many tutus without feeling overwhelmed. And I'm still in school, so I want to make sure it doesn't affect my schoolwork or my daytime job. So just preparing and just making sure I can handle that right now. That's not something I'm like pushing forward at the very moment, because once again, I just started in August, but at the same time, I still want to push out and do different things like that. So preparing and making sure I can take on that big of a load is something that I'm working on at the moment.
I mean, even like pre-making something and like they just decorate them, like just for starters, just until you get to the point where you can actually afford to charge for a class where they're making actual tutus.
Yeah, because making tutus, I'm still learning the process, like with the measurements and different things like that. So what I may do for the parties, just do a basic one color tutu for everybody and have different items that they can add on to their tutus.
Right.
And of course, supervise parents, with hot glue guns, showing them, okay, like this is where you want to put it. Different things like that. Try to find a child safe way.
My niece asked me to do my niece Morgan asked me to do a tutu party, and that glue gun thing was
glue has
still
been
healing from that.
Oh yeah, last night while I was making a tutu, my finger got burnt a couple times. So
with the hot glue?
Yeah, with the hot glue, that glue is very hot, and it sticks. Because while I was like gluing the material to the tutu, and it's just like. You gotta wait till it cools off to peel it off.
Yeah, this finger gonna be burned. Like,
it's just a whole lot.
No, y'all keep that to yourself.
But it is a learning process. It is definitely a learning process that I have to be patient in learning how to do. So
one of my friends be doing that, so I be keeping game with how she be doing it. I just be watching like, I don't got the patience.
Yeah, it's a lot. It is definitely a lot.
And that's what people who getting into it for just the monetary gain of it. And
you will quickly leave.
Right, and they realize, well, this really takes work, or the quality of their work suffers. And then that in turn make people think, well, everybody's going to be this. Have you had any, like, you don't have to give names, but any horror stories yet?
I haven't had horror stories yet. I haven't had horror stories yet. But just getting people used to, like, hey, you have to pay first before, I do different things. Because it takes a lot to design. Because for me, I guarantee 100% customer satisfaction. Right, you're not just ordering. So for me, I actually sit for hours at a time making sure the end goal is something that you are pleased with.
Right.
And, I work with each client individually to make sure this is something that they want to do. This is something that they'll like. And so it's not just something I sit on my computer and just whip up real quick. No.
So what sets you apart from any other person that's making tutus? Like, in your mind at this point, or your mission, what sets you apart from any other tutu designer?
I think ultimately what sets me apart is knowing that the child is going to be happy. Though the parents are paying for it, my ultimate goal is the happiness of the child.
Right.
The monetary aspect of it is nice and everything, but for me, the end goal is, and I always ask the parents, like, send me a picture of the child in the tutu because I want to see their reaction, and that's that's my mission, like to give a child that custom, unique look. And so for me, it's just like, as long as I know the child is happy.
It's almost like pick my child in the way.
Yeah, it's just like, for me, that I think that sets me apart. You know, the money aspect is fine, but ultimately, if I could see another child as happy as my niece was when I put that tutu on her for her birthday, and it was not my best tutu, you know, seeing if I can give a good quality tutu, and a child is as happy as my niece is every time she sees a tutu in my apartment, that's my mission.
Now, in terms of, so normally as an artist, once you start doing one thing, it kind of leads you to other things in the art. Do you see those other avenues starting to peek out at you? Like designing in general?
Yeah, I've learned that I do enjoy computer design. Okay. And so University of Baltimore does offer publishing design classes where you can learn how to do the graphic designing and different things like that.
So making your own fabric, stuff like that?
Fabric, not yet. Not yet. But I do find myself in Michael's in the craft section of Walmart way more often than I used to.
Michael's is the devil.
Really.
When you get that 50%, 40% off.
Yes. Downloading the apps on my phone and different sales that
I have to take it off my phone because then that makes me want to go and spend that 50%.
Right. Yeah, but with the different avenues of, you know, designing and different things like that, I don't see it yet, but it's something I do hope does come to fruition in the future. But right now, I'm trying to keep it steady, because the way I remember with Virtuous Woman, I was all over the place doing a little bit of everything. So with TuTu Paradise, I want to make sure I have my mission set in stone, and I want to make sure that mission is being carried out with every product.
And the ultimate goal is that it becomes self-sufficient, because I've learned in like me starting this, I was that person, like I tried to do everything at one time and everything overlapped, and this radio show has really helped me to kind of streamline, not so much take away, but to streamline and organize everything. So I'll do my plays a couple times a year. I'm able to do other events and create events and do my jewelry and find timing. Were you good at time management and coming in?
I'm not even gonna lie. No, I am horrible at time management, but I'm getting better with my time management. Because like I said, I still work daily. I still have school. And so I actually have Outlook on my phone where I have to put, okay, Monday nights is work on my orders, you know. Wednesday evenings is for tutus. And so I have to force myself to have that schedule. So I'm not sitting up at 2 o'clock in the morning answering people's questions and things like that. Because I still have to get my rest, because I have to be to work at 8:30 in the morning. So I can't be up at 2 o'clock answering emails and things like
when
that.
To say no.
Yeah, I have to learn that. And so at
when
first,
to say when.
And at first I was just like, well, if I'm not there at every beckoning call, I'm gonna lose business.
Oh,
but
girl, you gonna lose that real quick.
Oh yeah, I lost that. So for me, and I have TuTu Paradise and my personal on my phone, but I also have to learn, okay, when can I do my personal stuff? When can I do TuTu Paradise? And I've been learning to separate the two, because when I post things on TuTu Paradise, I'm not so quick to post it on my personal page because I want to keep the two separate. But occasionally, like today, I shared that onto my personal page because I do want my friends who are not on my business page to see what I'm doing today. But I don't share everything I do on TuTu Paradise on my personal page. So learning to separate the two, learning to, work them as two separate entities, has been a part of that time management. So yeah.
So we're going to take another quick break with some time management. And we'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BigExposedRadio.com.
Oh, yeah.
It's time for a flashback.
Now, I'm not going to say all Aries don't know.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Check out this flashback from the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
That's the biggest thing, is just empowerment. Just get off of the begging line. Just be proud and just get our pride and our dignity back, because as a child, we're taught how to go and beg for a job. Our parents, they literally taught us how to make sure you pull your pants up. Me, I'm 6'7", so I'm a bigger man. I was always taught how to not be threatening or intimidate people when I go into different interviews or different scenarios. And so we're literally taught how to condition ourselves, condition our speech, everything in order to go and beg these people for a job, because we know when we walk in the door, I have to tear down 10 stereotypes before I get past hello. So we need to eliminate that. You know, and we need to eliminate that, and the way that we do that is employing ourselves and employing our brothers and sisters. And so that's our mission, is group economics, uplift ourselves, because I can't empower anyone until I empower myself, and change from just being willing, because it's in my heart and my passion to see my people succeed and see us do better and change the social order, because I know that we are not supposed to be on bottom. I understand who I was. I know I didn't fall out of the sky and land on a plantation. So when you have knowledge of self and you know who you are and what you come from, it's frustrating more than anything to see us in this position.
Tune into the Artist Exchange every Friday 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Saturday 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. live on BeExposedRadio.com.
Just a Bit Outside radio show.
There is one glaring stat that I read about while watching the games over the weekend. New York Yankees went 22 straight innings with at least one strikeout.
Really?
That's a major league record for the postseason.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an interesting statistic.
It is. You know, and then when you think about it, it's like, okay, you know, that, to me, that's like a big reason why, you know, they're losing right now.
Check out this flashback from the Artist Exchange radio show.
That's the biggest thing, is just empowerment. Just get off of the begging line. Just be proud and just get our pride and our dignity back, because as a child, we're taught how to go and beg for a job. Our parents, they literally taught us how to make sure you pull your pants up. Me, I'm 6'7", so I'm a bigger man. I was always taught how to not be threatening or intimidate people when I go into different interviews or different scenarios. And so we're literally taught how to condition ourselves, condition our speech, everything in order to go and beg these people for a job, because we know when we walk in the door, I have to tear down 10 stereotypes before I get past hello. So we need to eliminate that. You know, and we need to eliminate that, and the way that we do that is employing ourselves and employing our brothers and sisters.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Because you're doing custom right now, it still gives you the same pattern of your work ethic.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show, here live on BeExposedRadio.com. Question, in terms of having this business, what has been the hardest part for you in maintaining like a schedule or the process or just the business in general? What's been the hardest part for you?
I would have to say, like we said previously, learning to say no and learning to, because when I'm in school, I have to know, like I have a 10-page paper that's due next week, but I also have a TuTu that I have to get out.
I don't miss college at all, my lord.
So it's just like I have to know.
In a certain format and
certain format and everything. So I have to know. The hardest thing for me has been balancing my schoolwork and TuTus. Because they're both two things I really love and that I want to succeed in, but I have to make sure I don't give too much of myself to one thing and the other thing lacks. Right. Mainly, I don't want those grades to lack. Yeah. Right. And so, learning to put, like, I know when I get home today, my goal is to finish my TuTu and get it out. Right. But I know Monday, I need to start working on that paper. And I can't worry about TuTus on Monday. And so, that's been the hardest thing for me. Because like I was saying before, for me, I feel like if I'm not doing it, they're going to find somebody else to do it. But if it's for you, it will be there for you.
Because you can't afford, and I wish I would have stuck to the balancing act of working a regular benefactor versus, you know, starting my dream, because I did the thing that they taught us to make your savings, you know, your savings. But again, one of my mistakes was I did not change my lifestyle in terms of my bank account. So you gotta kind of come back a little bit, pull back.
Adjust it all together.
But right, exactly. Stop it all together.
Yes.
But it's just a balancing act, because you can never save enough money.
Nope.
Because what happens when you got this huge order and they cancel? So that's all the money you just spent. But you gotta realize, and then you gotta learn how to sell. Are you a good seller?
I'm getting better.
Okay.
You know the elevator pitch. I'm getting better.
She should have came Saturday.
Oh yeah. We did talk
I'm
about
getting
that
better
elevator
because I
pitch.
ran into someone in the building, and they were like, "Yeah, so what is TuTu Paradise?" And I realized I was stumbling all over myself. And then when I was by myself, I was like, "Oh, TuTu Paradise, custom tutus and t-shirts," and I was able to like get it out.
But do it in a way where it doesn't sound mechanical.
Right.
And
That's
you're
another
able
thing I have to
to
learn.
talk about it depending on who you're talking to.
Right.
So when you meet Sharon, it's a different conversation
Right.
versus you're meeting somebody who just a friend who just saw it and
Who
just
just
want to
wants
know
to know
about
what
it.
it's about.
Yeah, so it's a
yeah.
different conversation that you have to have, but you have to get very comfortable with talking about yourself.
Yep.
And then analyzing who you're talking to.
Right.
Because
And
everybody don't need all the information.
Everybody don't need everything.
Right.
And so I had to learn, and my dad is all about, enunciation and how you talk and how you carry yourself.
Thank you, Minister, for teaching her well.
Yes. And so, I'm sure he's sitting there watching. I'm sure he will have some pointers
Sit up
for me
straight.
later. Yes, sit up straight. Don't play with your hair while
Have
you're
your back straight
Have
up.
your back straight up.
Sit properly.
Yes, sit properly. And I'm sure he will have pointers for me when I see him later. But the way I conversate with, the way I talk to a 2-year-old about tutus is not how I'm going to talk to Miss Sharon when it comes to Baltimore Fashion Week.
Exactly.
And I have to learn those two things, and I also have to learn. Sorry, conversate is not a real word. And
we created it.
Yeah, we
English
created it.
is a made-up language, people.
Yeah, slang.
Yes.
My fault. You want us to use converse?
Converse, yes, converse. And just, the way I talk about tutus, I have to learn how to market myself appropriately.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about myself is something that I really struggle with. Because I get nervous and I don't want to feel like, I'm being too big-headed. I want to make sure I'm being modest. But it's okay with talking about yourself to a certain extent.
A little bit of confidence and arrogance goes a long way.
It really, just a little bit. You got to find that balance between it. And so that's what I'm working with. So hopefully I'll be able to, show Miss Sharon that I can do it.
But it's just what I've learned because what happens is, and what a regular job stifles us with is it keeps us from being able to express ourselves. We can tell you what the ins and out of this job is, but as in relationship to who I am, it's normally hard because now I got to tell you what I do. So what I do is, and then you become this the title, the umbrella names, but you got to be able to get deeper depending on who you're talking to because this could be a potential customer.
Yeah.
I hate selling. I'm gonna just say I hate selling. I hate selling. I normally sit my stuff on the table, and if it sells, it sells.
If it don't.
But because I cringe at that moment. Like I normally always carry a friend with me to events and let them do that. Right. But I've learned how to engage in conversation with people over time, only because I'm an actor and I know how to talk to people.
Right.
But it has helped me in my personal business because we're great at promoting other people in their work.
Yeah. But see, the thing I appreciate with my job that I'm working at now at the University of Baltimore and the VP of Student Affairs, they are all about creating that atmosphere where you are comfortable in learning those new skills, where you can promote even what you're doing outside of the office. Because like I said, I'm the social media strategist, but I was also talking to my direct supervisor and telling her that I make wigs. And so someone else had walked in the office and they were talking, and this was a day I wasn't even there, and she had told somebody that I make wigs, and the next day they saw me sitting in the office. They were like, "Girl, I need some wigs. I need you."
And in those environments, it's normally the breeding ground to really start your business. I started at Coppin, sitting in the quad, doing work on my laptop, and then I'll set up the joint. And that's normally, you tell your professors. And then, I had one professor that had just let me pull the box out in class. And I was like, okay.
And those are the people that really help get businesses to the next level because
slide them a couple
and and they encourage me to tell people what you're doing in the office. Even with my boss, who's the VP, she talks to me about how she got to where she is as an African American woman who sits in the president's executive office. She gives me tips and pointers and things that I can carry over to TuTu Paradise, and I appreciate that atmosphere that they set for us. Because now I'm getting more comfortable with talking about myself to other people that come in the office. And most jobs, like we were saying, most jobs don't allow you that platform.
They want you to be
They want you to be this person at this time from 9 to 5. This is all you were talking about.
They're learning that before we go to break, they're learning that you have to let people be expressive and be themselves, because if you keep them in this black and blue place, they won't grow, and then the productivity of what you need them to be won't happen.
It's caged in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Oh, yeah.
It's time for a flashback.
Now, I'm not going to say all Aries don't know.
It is what it is. Radio show.
Wait, all right, listen. Check out what you missed on Be Exposed Radio.
It doesn't say alleged anywhere.
Check out this flashback from Talk Lately with Monty only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Hey everybody, check out what you missed on the one and only Be Inspired Radio Show. So, since we're talking about the book, can you give people a synopsis of what the book is and what's the name of the book again, and then what it's about?
The name of the book is From Trial to Afflictions. More than one, because there were more than one afflictions.
Yes.
The book is talking about, actually, it's my life story. And I have to add in there that when that prophet told me, he said, tell your story, write the story. He said, and God said, tell your addiction. Now, see, I'm not going to tell the addiction because you have to get the book to read it. But it was about deliverance. It was about all the, trials and tribulations we go through. People that come into our life, even people that come to try and break you down or draw you down so that you can't stand for God or worship Him through your situation, because that's the adversary using them. We have to know that. But through it all, I was still praying and fasting. I needed help from God. I really did. I needed help from God to see me through. And for anyone that's going through, I say that this book is about different afflictions.
Yes.
Going through them, how you get through them. And I had a sister pushing me too, praying for me. I thank God for that again.
Yes.
But it also talks about deliverance. There is deliverance in the process.
Yes.
And you have to be willing to see yourself first, to know that you need deliverance.
Yes.
Tune in to Be Inspired every Wednesday live at 7 p.m. right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
All right now, come on. How do you go Facebook Live? Oh, there you go. Instagram Live.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show, here live only on BeExposedRadio.com. Just to take a step back, and let me get on it so I can actually speak about it correctly. So this segment, we're going to talk a little bit about networking and how do you do it, what's the fear, all that good stuff. But before I do that, I'm going to shout out Miss Nixon once again. She has a special, the Fashion Umbrella has a special going on right now. 50% off the individual tickets for the Impact Award and Gala. That will be in March. I believe it's March the 24th. If I'm wrong, Sharon, you can tell me. But it's March the 24th. They have, if you go to the website, fashionumbrella.org, type in the promo code Friday. But this year, for 2018 rather, I am one of the Impact Award recipients. So you're going to come and support me.
There you go.
As well as the foundation. So get your tickets now. I believe you go to the fashionumbrella.org website and .com. No, it's .org. I'm sorry, .org. And you go to the Impact Awards Heart Events, and you can get your tickets there. And just put in the promo code Friday. And it ends November. Oh, it ends today. Ouch. Gotta get those things now.
You know what I'm saying? If you got your fingers, get your thumbs twiddling and twiddling beads.
Get those tickets.
And get those tickets.
But we're definitely having a good time here with Miss Crystal of TuTu Paradise. We're gonna try to do something. We're gonna do some type of event with her. I love doing parties. We can do like a jewelry / tutu party.
I would love
I do
that.
You can do that, but I'm not wearing no tutu. I'm like,
well, I make t-shirts too.
He's our model. He's our model.
I can make you a t-shirt.
He'll put a tutu on.
Oh, you want to put a
Just
tutu
make
on?
it black and put some like
Oh, I can do that.
Nah.
I see your. I can make it to match your necklace.
That's nice. Nah.
Yeah. I can do it to match your necklace. I got you.
We can do it. You can do it. All right. Yeah. Somebody else can wear it though. Right?
You sure?
I'm gonna wear the necklace. Yeah.
I think I can put a TuTu with that.
Nah. You put a TuTu with somebody else.
He's a game player. But we are here. So this segment, I wanted to talk more about networking and the benefits of networking and this branding, who you are, and that pitch that you have to give when you're meeting people. One of my biggest rules, my do not do this, is start a conversation talking about yourself.
Yes.
Learn who you're speaking to. You know, give a brief 3-second introduction as to who you are and start asking questions. Learn something. Because it could be a person that you want to talk to. Right. It could be a person that you don't want to talk to. So I want to give you my best stuff. And you some a-hole that I can't really I want to even talk to. So you don't start a conversation with talking about yourself.
Yeah, I try to wait and see, like, okay, who am I working with?
Right.
Who are you? I ask the person I ask them all the questions before I figure out, okay, this is what I need to tell you about myself. Because along with TuTu Paradise, you know, I do singing and dancing and all these different things.
Oh, word.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, see, you just a plethora.
Yeah, a little something like that.
Hear some of those songs.
Right.
I see. I'll have to see. Me.
Yeah, she's got I got some tea with some lemons in it.
Oh, yeah, come on. I do need some lemons. But I have to figure out who I'm talking to at first before I mention, because also with social media and different things like that. Like, I have to figure out, okay, what part of me am I going to tell you right now? Because, you know, with Miss Sharon, I can talk about the tutus and all the different things that I do with marketing. But with someone else that I may see on the streets, they may, you know, I may not be able to tell them all these different things. I may have to figure out, okay, what part of my life can I talk to you about right now?
Right.
You know, so that's why, you know, not talking about yourself is definitely the biggest thing that I had to learn, because I was, you know, giving people myself on a silver platter, and then turning around, it was a whole bunch of useless information that they didn't need. They just wanted to know, how do I get downtown? You know, something like that.
Right. Or, you know, what is a distraction sometimes is if somebody is totally not their welder. So what does that have to do with tutus?
Yeah,
but in some way, your business can help each other somehow. I always think it's one open door, at least one open door. But we have to get comfortable. One, with talking to ourselves. Two, which is bigger than one, listening is very vital in networking. And then learning how to just pace yourself. You may not be able to reach every person in a room. And we want to just, especially if we have business cards, I got to give a card out to every person in this room.
Everyone don't need a business card, you know?
No.
Yeah.
So
if you have a good conversation, you don't need to give out a business card. That just normally follows up the conversation. Don't start with Googling me, go to my website, go to my Facebook.
Have a nice conversation.
Don't start out with giving a business card sometimes either. You know?
I know.
That's like the finishing touch.
A tip my coworker gave me was, in the midst of talking to somebody, learn these little things about them. So she said she was talking to somebody, and the person she was talking to told them about their daughter or something like that, and she reconnected with them and said, "Hey, how's your daughter doing?" And and they were like, "Oh, didn't think you would remember that." And so, you know, learning these little things about people that you can carry over to the conversation. So when you go back to email the person, like, "Hey, we spoke at this networking event. I hope all is well." And do share how this event went. You know, something like that. You know, just so you can reconnect with that person.
Right.
And that's something that I learned that I can carry over into these networking events, and not feeling like I have to talk to all 150 people in the room. I may only need to speak to 2 people, and turns out the 2 people that I spoke to are actually the ones that put on the event, and they want to invite me for the next event, something like that. So, you know, I had to learn that.
Or somebody there will invite you to an event with the other people that are there that you didn't. Like people just, they're rushing. And I'm a culprit of this because I don't like to have conversations with people. So I'm just like, hey, here's my card.
And keep it moving.
And keep it moving. But some of those people, they end up emailing you or not because they didn't like that interaction. And the ones that do, you like, I wish you would not have emailed me. But you'll learn how to effectively communicate. And in your communication growing, you'll be better at networking. And it'll help you in the long run, because maybe this opportunity isn't necessarily for you to sell another tutu, but to put you in a playing space where you could sell multiple tutus.
Right.
So
The
you
ultimate-
discredit somebody who doesn't want to buy your product because they didn't buy a product.
Right.
But that person could be putting you in place of. Some of my best clients came as, honestly, somebody I sold jewelry to got me on this radio show.
Wow.
And that's the craziest thing ever.
Okay.
But she got me, a person who I sold jewelry also knew, and this is a good thing with learning how to cross-promote yourself. So all the things that you do, you have to find a way to be able to give that to people.
Yes.
Because she just bought jewelry from me.
Right.
That was it.
That was
and
it.
she bought jewelry for somebody I was working another job with, and she wound up buying something, and she steadily buys from me.
Right.
Realized I did theater because that's what I was doing when she first met me, when she bought jewelry from me. And she got me that play, which in turn got me on this station for an interview, and then I ended up having my own show 3 years, almost 4 years later. So you don't know.
Don't know how
discredit people.
Yeah, don't be so quick to shut people off and say, "Oh, you're not buying a tutu or you're not buying jewelry." I have no reason to talk to you.
Yeah.
And once you every time you shut off a person, you cutting you off another opportunity for yourself.
Right. You never know.
Yeah. So when I get people that inbox me on different things, and now granted, I have to make an announcement like, "Hey, TuTu Paradise is my business pages, not my personal page. You do not need to slide in my DMs. But if you have an opportunity for me, please come and communicate with me.
Right.
You know, I try not to cut people off when they send me messages. I want to talk to the person. Okay, what is your purpose for messaging me? And, you know, I'm not so quick to just, you know, mute them or, you know, like, you're not relevant. You know, talk to the person.
I look at their pages while we're having a conversation.
Yeah, what are we talking about? Let me view your profile. Who are you connected to? How can I benefit from this conversation?
Yeah. And you have to keep that in mind without necessarily saying it out loud.
Right.
You have to keep that in mind because somebody could be bringing you an opportunity for them, but how do I fit in? You always have to make sure you're a part of the bottom line.
Right.
It's good to give,
right.
But in your giving, you have to receive so you can remain stable.
Yep.
You know, I have a rule that I live by now. It's not too late, but after I had made all the mistakes that I was making, but my cup has to be full.
Right.
And it may not be as full to the brim and while we're talking now, but I'm getting it to that point.
Right.
And then everything that goes over that cup,
you
know, is what I can then give to you. But I have to be made full and flowing overflowing
so you can
in
pour
order
that
for me to
blessing
give.
Right.
Because if I'm giving you everything about me, I have nothing to maintain myself with. And so then I can't give you anything else.
Cup, well, you pretty much, like you said, your cup would be empty if you always do that. You know
and ultimately, at the end of the day, you have to make sure that whatever this opportunity is or whoever this person is, that they can help you fulfill your mission statement.
Right.
My job, they always say, what is the mission statement? What is your mission statement? And for me, and I'm now about to, you know, print it out, make it real nice, and put it on my wall because I love putting pictures on my wall. But it'll give me
decal.
Make it a decal. What is my mission statement? And with conversation, like, and granted, a lot of great opportunities are wonderful and amazing, but they may not fit with your mission statement. So it goes back to learning to say no. And it's like, you know what, I appreciate, you know, this opportunity, but I do not think it'll benefit my mission statement. And you know, it's nothing wrong with saying no.
This is what I can offer you, but this doesn't.
This doesn't, you know, match what I'm doing.
I could do this, or I know this person. You know, pass it along to somebody they could be helped by, or they could help. And you gotta learn. You know, all help isn't necessarily for you specifically.
Right.
It was brought to you so you could probably help somebody else, and that's networking. We have to learn how to give just as much as we're receiving. Because then we get into that point of, oh, you can't help me. Have a nice day.
Goodbye.
Right, and then that's it. And then the conversation is over, and you're looking stupid because this was an opportunity that could have got you somewhere else.
Right.
And you don't and I'm a big example of that because a lot of the networking that I've been able to do has got me to other places. And you think this is what it is, that you're taking it at face value, but you're not realizing all the other opportunities that you are missing because you're not willing to do this. So I try to go out a little bit more now and go to other events because I am happy in my bed at all times. But I really have to now work out opportunity where I go out more and I'm reaching more people. And, you know, even if it's just the people that I have on my show, like getting out, because you never know who you're going to meet. And I've learned that in the time that I've been on this show. And you have to just step outside of what is comfortable for you. Yeah. Because what is comfortable for me is in my pajamas in my bed with a nice movie on and some snacks. That's comfortable for me. Comfortable. You know, but because I'm learning how to sacrifice more. Right. So I'm not spending money recklessly on things that just make me feel good for the moment. Yep. But you have to really get into that space. And we're not finished yet, but this is normally a question that I normally ask. So I'll give it to you now, and you can take time to think about it or answer it. But but we ask all of our guests this question: what advice would you give to your 17-year-old self?
Yeah, even to the audience.
Not to necessarily. This question isn't necessarily to change anything, right? But because you're changing time, because what you've been through got you to where you are now, and will get you to where you will end up. But to kind of soften the blow. Because we sometimes make the same wrong decisions, but now I know how to get up from this because I have the resources to be able to do it. I may still make the same stupid mistakes, but I know how to get up.
But I know how to get So what would I say to my 17?
You don't have to put all your business out.
Yeah, I ain't gonna put all my. I mean,
same to the audience if you like to comment.
To my 17-year-old self. So you know how Facebook does the Facebook memories now. Yeah. I can see a lot of dumb things I posted on Facebook at 17. But when I was grown. Yeah, because I really thought I was grown at 17.
17, I was on MySpace.
Okay. I really thought I was grown. To my 17-year-old self, I would say, don't be so stubborn. Not to be so stubborn. Because I was born open-minded, but as I got older, I thought
the veil is lifted.
Yeah, it really is. And as I've gotten older, you know, granted I still have a lot to learn, but I was very stubborn. I was so stubborn. It was my way or the highway. That was it. At 7, and like who thinks like that at 17? Probably everybody. 17. But I was like stern. This is my way or the highway.
My friends gonna be.
You can't tell me what to do. I want to. At 17, I thought my parents telling me I couldn't go out was them just causing me all kinds of hell. But at 17, I learned. You know, it was one time my mom told me not to go somewhere with my friends, and they told me a fight broke out at the place that they went to, and I was just like, wow. Okay, maybe my parents may know something just a little bit
because they've been there already.
Yeah, they've been there.
You can't prevent young people from going through things, but you have to give them the resources. So talking to them gives them the resources to prevent them from making those same mistakes. You know what I did on my 18th birthday? I smoked a cigarette in front of my mother. Because I thought I was grown. First of all, my grandmother like slapped me because it was one of her cigarettes. But I felt like I was grown. So I was like, I smoke a cigarette.
Oh goodness!
And she let me smoke it. And when I say I didn't even like, I know I didn't inhale it.
You don't remember the hit.
I like lit it. I know I did because I could not. I didn't know how to breathe it in. And I remember putting her like just letting it burn, and my grandmother came in and was about to. It was a Newport, a fresh pack.
She's like, baby, you're catching my cigarette. You don't need to be catching them.
No, it wasn't that nice language, but it was. But I remember putting it in the ashtray, and I smelled my finger, and I was like, "Oh, that stinks." And my mother, because I was one of the people that I could quickly learn a lesson, or it was going to be a belabored, lifelong experience. But it really, like, in that moment, I was like, oh no, my fingers stink. I don't want to do this. Not for anything else. Not because I could die or eczema. It just, my fingers stink. Yeah. And that was just it for me.
I would say at 17, I had a lot of learning that I need to do. But I appreciate.
You were 17.
Yeah, I was 17. But I appreciate all the different not arguments because I was afraid of my parents. But all the different disagreements that I had with my parents. I appreciate all of those. And I was telling my mom, it's going to take my little sister, she's 18, it's going to take her a minute to appreciate you as
she's saying,
parents.
well, I'm not her.
Yeah, she's saying, well, I'm not Crystal. I don't have to do that. But I appreciate all, like, if I do this vending event, I want my mom at the table with me. Because my mom can offer something that I may not be able to offer. And so I appreciate, and I will also say, learn to appreciate my parents at 17 because I did not appreciate my parents and all they had done for me.
I chose 17 because 17 is that age where a lot of truths have already started to be introduced to you, and no longer can people, you know, give you the Tooth Fairy or the Santa Claus. Or,
you learn a lot at 17.
Right. Nobody can really lie to you anymore. Yes, very spoiled, Eric. Yes. But you really, you really just learn how to, because 17 is that age where you think you know everything. And you realize quickly a lot of stuff that you don't know, and you're trying to hide those things. And especially in a path that you are, or artists or business owners, try to really recapture that youthful ignorance that you had, because it allows you to be open. You know, and we would jump off of stuff. And now I'm like,
even thinking about it.
Just sit down for a second.
Just sit down for a minute.
So
just
we
think
learn
about
how to be safe as we grow older, and we forget how to take risks and just jump out there and be adventurous and work ourselves crazy. And now I gotta conserve my energy, and I have to. But we're gonna take another quick break. This is actually our last break, and we'll come back and I'll let everybody give their last thoughts and such. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. The Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
Oh yeah.
Check out this snippet from the new season of Talk Lately with Monty.
Man, it is what it is. Man, it is what it is. Well, it is what it is.
This fly T Miles, also known as Tyree Miles, and Mr. Miles the writer.
Hip Hop K, check us out every Friday on Be Exposed Radio at 9/11.
Coming to y'all soon.
Check out this flashback from the Artist Exchange Radio Show.
That's the biggest thing, is just empowerment. Just get off of the begging line. Just be proud and just get our pride and our dignity back, because as a child, we're taught how to go and beg for a job. Our parents, they literally taught us how to make sure you pull your pants up. Me, I'm 6'7", so I'm a bigger man. I was always taught how to not be threatening or intimidate people when I go into different interviews or different scenarios. And so we're literally taught how to condition ourselves, condition our speech, everything, in order to go and beg these people for a job, because we know when we walk in the door, I have to tear down 10 stereotypes before I get past hello. So we need to eliminate that. You know, and we need to eliminate that, and the way that we do that is employing ourselves and employing our brothers and sisters. And so that's our mission, is group economics, uplift ourselves, because I can't empower anyone until I empower myself, and change from just being willing, because it's in my heart and my passion to see my people succeed and see us do better and change the social order, because I know that we are not supposed to be on bottom. I understand who I was. I know I didn't fall out of the sky and land on a plantation. So when you have knowledge of self and you know who you are and what you come from, it's frustrating more than anything to see us in this position.
Tune into the Artist Exchange every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. live on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com, the home of Talk Lately with Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Check out this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
So, you know how you round people who really can sing?
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Be all right for this.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I wanted to get all right for this.
All right, Miss Megan. That's the best way to do it. Like that. You know, you come in here and you show them how you make them tutus.
Just some tutus. I was gonna bring a tutu, but I was like,
I thought you were gonna have a
I wanted to bring one.
You're over here trying
to always bring a sample.
Yeah.
Try and get me to wear a tutu.
I'm gonna get you a tutu now.
You
What's your waist size?
What's
your waist size?
My waist size.
What size shirt you wear?
I wear medium.
You wear medium? Okay, so an adult male, probably about a 30-inch waist.
I don't got no 30-inch waist, baby.
Let me see.
That's nice of you.
My waist is like more.
Well, because
like
the elastic is what.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's more of a 34.
More of a 34. Yeah. We can work some math.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show, here live only on BigExposedRadio.com. Eric, are we on, Eric?
Yeah, we definitely
Yeah, you definitely on.
But it's not on.
No, I hear it. No,
So
we're on right here.
Welcome back. So this is the last segment, and we are here with Miss Crystal. She was telling us about the TuTu Paradise and such.
Yeah.
We were just talking about networking and business practices and just getting yourself in order. Like it's so important that you get a handle of your business, because our life is on these 5 to 10 year cycles. So I was about to say the mistakes, but the decisions that you make right now will be the life that you lead in 5 to 10 years, and you have to get that pattern together, because you want to make, as you grow older and as you mature, you want to make things easier for yourself and not harder. Like right now, I'm really trying to focus hard on my financial readiness and my strategy and my plans and health and all those things. So I don't want to spend my 40s worrying about money or business and stuff.
Paycheck
Right,
or
I don't want to
anything
do
like
those
that.
things.
I want to be set.
Right.
Yeah.
You know so I really I value these business owners that are really focusing on who they are and what they want in life, and it really it helps to be focused in on who you want to be, and just knowing that with a certainty. You can always change your mind or grow, evolve, or pull back, but just make a decision. And just keep making that decision or decisions. And being all over the place is just being afraid of making a decision and sticking to it. You know, you can always go back. Life has an eraser. And now time won't stand still for you, but you can definitely, it's never too late to restart or to start. Not even restart, but just to start, period. So just start where you are and just move from that place. Use what you have right now. Everything you want and desire is within your grasp.
Right, don't be stagnant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And just to piggyback off what you're saying, like, advice what you tell your 17-year-old self, so many things I always come back to myself when I think about that. And I always say, not always say, but what comes to me is, speak out. You know, you have a voice, you know, and you could have helped so much people back then, like just become a better person, or just create, you know what I'm saying? Instead of doing things this way, you know, you could have led them this way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because during that time, like, you don't know the influences you can have on other people's lives, even during that time. So the best thing I would say is that, you know, just have a voice and don't be afraid to speak out and just, you know, help and guide people to positive direction.
I'm definitely learning to speak out more.
So let us know where we can find you on social media, how people can order tutus or book you for an event, so on and so forth.
Yes. So you can find me on Facebook at TuTu Paradise. So it's TuTu space Paradise, Pardise. And that is on Facebook. We're not a like page, we're a friend page. So do add me. You can look at our work and see what we've done thus far. And then you can also find us at the same name on Instagram, TuTu Paradise with 17 on the end. And like us and share our work, and you can see all of the fun things that we do when we're trying to do different things. You can also, starting, I want to say next week, you'll see a little clip video of my niece and I doing some shopping, preparing for some TuTu orders that we have coming up. And if you would like to order a tutu, you can email me at TuTu Paradise. Yes.
Right, you know what I'm
when
saying?
they email, you know, put an order in, you know. You can email me at TuTuParadise17@gmail.com. I tried to make it easy. So if you type in TuTu Paradise, you'll find me on social media and everywhere.
Yeah,
so.
she got one of the shirts on now.
Yes,
you know what
my
I'm saying?
shirt.
And it's pretty dope.
She didn't bring anybody.
She just brought her
I
shirt.
mean,
You know
I
what
got
I'm
you. I
saying?
can make a TuTu Paradise shirt for y'all if y'all want.
TuTu Paradise
yes.
shirt. You know what I'm saying?
You see, I support people that give me t-shirts.
I got you. So we in the making. Yeah, I made this t-shirt myself.
All right.
So, you know, if y'all want to put in an order for TuTu Paradise shirts, you're more than welcome.
There you go.
We keep everything is made to order, so we don't have like things in stock. So if you know, if you send me a message asking to see any inventory, I will have you go right back to our Facebook and look at the work, because all of our orders are made to order.
Right.
So the only thing I have in stock, I'll send you a picture of my Thule fabric if that's what you want to see. But everything is made to order. It's free form to order. So if you have an idea that you want to bring to life, we also have Comic-Con coming up next year.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to start working with people to see if we can get some tutus, you know, at different events with Comic-Con and different things like that. So we're tapping into a little bit of everything.
So this has been the Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BeExposedRadio.com. So I'm gonna post her information up on it. And so she's already linked to this live that we are watching now. If you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, so you'll be able to click it and go to her Facebook page. We'll put up her other information on our page as well. This weekend, don't forget the Poets for Dinner is tomorrow at the Art.
It's the Art Center 2?
Art Center 2 on Greenmount Avenue.
Yes.
So come on out to that.
1700 Greenmount?
Yeah.
1700 Greenmount Avenue. Please come out. Oh, yes, I do.
You get a free meal and
meal.
poetry. You can get up and do an open mic if you feel so graciously.
Gotta
right.
come. It's
wear a tutu.
The
wear a tutu,
the
yes.
environment is great. You know, the people are great.
I think I've been to a Poets for Dinner before.
With
the poetry, the music, everything. So.
Yeah.
So definitely come on out. That's tomorrow. Doors open up at 6 o'clock. So definitely come on out to that. And don't forget, I think it's this weekend, but go to fashionumbrella.org, type in the promo code Friday. I'm gonna see if we can get our own promo code. Yeah. And get your tickets to the Impact Gala for Fashion Umbrella. It's in March, so get it soon.
Yes.
So you get some inexpensive, not cheap, but inexpensive pricing. And don't look out for our series to start again for the Art Talks. That will start on February the 3rd, and it will be every month, the first Saturday of every month here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show. And we're doing some awesome things. On the 11th of January, we're actually going to the African American Museum of History. So I'll do a giveaway this weekend for that. And definitely stay tuned, stay locked in for more information. Our website will be done at the end of December, so you'll be able to find all of the stuff that we're doing with the Artist Exchange in one central location.
Central, all upcoming events, appearances.
And last but not least, because we got to pay those bills, if you're looking for advertising or sponsorship opportunities, let us help you advertise your business. We have some affordable packages and prices. Damonn can help you with an awesome commercial package and so on and so forth, and we offer some great prices to help you to be able to promote your business to our unique audience that we have here on the Artist Exchange. So definitely stay tuned, stay locked in for more information. We'll be back next week with a whole nother guest, a whole nother day. So definitely stay tuned, stay locked in for that. So Be Exposed Radio, that's what it is. The next show is tomorrow at 7 o'clock, and that's the Homegrown Radio Show. So, peace out.
Peace out. Eat food. Enjoy your day. Much love. Holla.
Be Exposed Radio.
Well, if you made them, take care of them.
Yeah, that's
Period.